What is up guys, Milton here. The iPhone X is finally out. This video will focus on a hands-on look of the phone and whether or not you should get one. Let's get started. So we finally got a chance to see the Apple Watch Series 3 with LTE and the Apple TV with 4K and HDR. But we were actually all waiting for the iPhone X, and now we know it's here. By the way, don't call it the iPhone X. So this is the phone, and for the last 5 or 6 months, the leaks have been accurate. And I look forward to doing a hands-on review when the phone finally comes out. But like expected, the phone has a 5.8-inch OLED display.
It goes into each corner where it follows the tight curve of the design.
Keep in mind, this phone is smaller than the iPhone Plus, thanks to the tiny bezels around the super sharp display. Also, there is no more home button, so the lack of the home button is going to be a challenge for some people, but you get used to it quickly.
So now, when you want to go to the home screen, you simply swipe up from the bottom, and you go home.
And with that lack of the home button, let's talk about Face ID. So, looking at the camera, there's a flood illuminator that projects light and helps identify your face even when the lighting is dark. This is going to be cool to see whether it works, even if it's pitch black. There is also a dot projector that adds more than 30,000 infrared dots projected onto your face and builds a unique facial map of each iPhone user. Apple says there's no way even for a twin to open up the phone, but considering the phone can evolve as an iPhone user looks differently throughout the year, i.e. if a man has a mustache or not, I'm curious how the phone would tell the difference between two people that look alike. Then, there's the infrared camera itself that reads the dot pattern from the dot projector, then captures an infrared image and sends the data to Apple's A11 chip. This is one part the government has criticized Apple over. Moving on to the proximity sensor, it detects your presence when you're near the phone, and there's an ambient light sensor that helps determine the brightness of the True Tone display. For the speaker, I find the top notch to be an interesting place to put a speaker, so I'll see how good it is in my hands-on test. So for the microphone, it's a traditional microphone, so not much to say there. Lastly, there's a 7 megapixel true depth front camera. It will allow you to handle the portrait mode, portrait lighting, and animojis, and will allow you to do FaceTime at 1080p. The top notch is as high-tech as it comes. I look forward to trying it out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Other than that, there's a new feature called animojis, and there are 7 to 8 of them. The idea is that they mimic your face, and it's a pretty cool feature by Apple. For the future, I see animojis being used in place of FaceTime. I have a few friends that don't like using FaceTime, but they may not mind being cartoons. You may even see this in a more professional setting one day. In regards to other hardcore tech, there's a spec bump with Apple including the A11 Bionic chip. Also, Face ID works well. I know on stage, it did not work very well.
Here is iPhone X. Now, unlocking it is as easy as looking at it and swiping up. And, you know, let's try that again. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go to backup here.
But when the employees did the presentation, it was fine. As for the camera, the phone actually rocks 2 12-megapixel cameras, and they're both optically stabilized. Keep in mind, you can record 4K at 60 frames per second, so that's an achievement for Apple.
An iPhone X, the most advanced iPhone we've ever made. The incredible new design, Face ID, true depth camera system, and more powerful technologies than we've ever put in an iPhone before.
So the next big question is, should I get one? I would say yes. There's a price bump. $999 is not cheap. Also, know this is the first edition of this type of phone. So the second edition will always be better. If you are an early adopter in regards to tech, it's a yes for you. If you are a late adopter, I would say think about the price, you may want to wait. The second edition will have all the kinks worked out. That's it for now. I'm Milton. Thank you for listening.